Hey guys, in our last video we talked about ranking your contractor. You would have spoken to about 6 contractors and had a series of questions, and you kind of want to start narrowing it down to your top 3. So what do you do next? Welcome to Constructing Spaces TV. I'm co-founder Arif Maharali. Before we go on and talk about this next subject, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, share, and like. Also, if you have any comments, please comment below. Comments are really important to us. So you've done your calls with your contractors, you've asked them all the same questions, and ranked it according to, say, your top 3 contractors. And that's a really healthy numbers to compare 3 contractors to actually bring into your space. So that's exactly what you're going to do next. You're going to call all 3 contractors. You're going to be very open with them and let them know that they've been selected and narrowed down to top 3. What you want to do is invite them to come in and give them about an hour of your time, and just use this time to walk around the space, talk a little bit more of what your vision is, and more importantly, to reconfirm any of the questions, the answers they gave you to the questions that they asked. I think it's really important to kind of look at those physical cues and have them elaborate maybe a little bit more on some of the questions that you were asking them on the phone interview. So use this time to really get a gut feel between yourself and who you think you want to hire. Now, the key thing here is, after you interview your contractor on site, you really want to start thinking about how you feel about them taking you through this. Do you feel confident that they're going to eliminate any of your fears, that they're listening to you, that they're giving some suggestions that make sense? And don't be afraid to walk around the space and ask them questions like, what would you do here? Don't lead them, don't give them suggestions. And I don't want this to be rude, but you want to ask the question, what would you do here? And then shut up, really. Let them answer. And you can do that for all 3, just to get an idea if they're kind of talking about the same thing, or if something's way out in left field, or whatever the case may be. So this interview process is more of a feel, not an opportunity for you to start talking about how much is it going to cost and all of these things. You can also at this point talk about their idea around a budget range, which could be very wide, but at least it gives you an idea to know if you and your family are within that budget range. The other thing I encourage you to do at this time is talk about a plan. And you've heard me talk about processes and plans and how important they are. But this is where we really need to narrow down a plan. And what I mean by a plan is, who's going to be doing the space planning and designing of the space? Based on your vision, based on you talking to the contractor, you do need someone that's going to help you bring the picture together, if you will. And designers are an amazing resource. A lot of people think designers are all about paint and lipstick and all of this stuff. That's absolutely not the truth. And I'll make sure I do a video just specifically on what a designer does. But the contractor may have a designer in-house or work with a few designers that you can kind of ask them about. And that is ultimately what your job's going to get priced off of. So when you're talking to the contractor, you want to ask them who they work with as far as design. And again, if it's someone in-house, obviously they can bring them to the next meeting, or they can give you a couple names. Now, a good contractor will already have interviewed you and kind of married or have a designer in mind that's going to work really well with you and your personality, your needs and your wants. When you select your contractor after this process, you have also selected a designer. And again, there's immense value that you should be putting forward to get at least the plans done of this design space. So make sure that in your mind that you will have to and you should be budgeting to spend some money on a plan, because ultimately those plans are what's going to be the framework for your project, and those plans are the items that you're going to sign off on, and those plans are going to eliminate stress, cost overruns, etc., etc., all the bad things that you hear that can happen in a renovation or a build. So remember, you're narrowing it down to 3 contractors, you're meeting with them, you're reconfirming the answers that you asked, answers to the questions that you asked, you're walking them around the space, and you're really just trying to get a gut feel if you can work with this person. We'll talk about what you do next on the next video to really get closer to that final number. But you're so close to selecting that one contractor, which is super exciting. Remember, if you have any questions, you can go in the comment section and write whatever you have on your mind, or you can contact us directly. But please subscribe, share the content. Hopefully you like it, and we'll see you next time.